So I feel called to give a testimony, and I've given this testimony before, but so many people, I have like 600 videos, and most people don't go all the way back to the beginning to look at them. So I don't know who this is for, but I kept hearing you need to give a testimony, and I asked, what testimony do I need to give? So the testimony that I'm going to give is it's it's pertaining to the true hand of the Lord upon my life. I had just gotten married and I moved to a small town, and I was working in a clinic, and it was Obamacare clinic. On one side was medical, and the other side was dental. And I had just gotten married, and I had asked I was asked if I would want to manage the place, and I didn't want to manage the place, and I had kind of stepped out of the medical field a little bit, but this was in the medical field. I had come from a place of an office job in the medical field, and wanted to continue on and do nursing. I was a dialysis tech at the time, coming from that. And when I started working at this place, they were hiring the manager that would be over me. And the manager that was supposed to be over me, when that person came in, they let them know that they were looking at me for that position. Instant jealousy arose. It was bad. It was not good. There was a lot of things that were going on in the office that shouldn't have been going on. This person was supposed to learn my job. I was at the front of the office. I did everything, checked people in, the whole 9 yards. My voice was on the recorder when you called. I was everything there. And when this person came in, when they said that, there was instantly a spirit of jealousy that had entered into this clinic. I wasn't receiving lunches. I'm going to make a long story short. It was such a hostile environment that I would cry most days. I would go home and I'd cry. Now, I was married to a previous police officer. So that person had me writing down things. I would document dates, times, everything that would go on, everything that was being said. One of the nurses went to bat for me, and the main big guys came in and they asked me to tell them, and I don't tell on people. That's not what I do. I suck it up, and they said, we want you to tell us the truth. Don't be fibbing about it. And I said, okay. So I told him everything. I thought, what else do I have to lose? I was having high blood pressure. I had blacked out. I ended up in the hospital because of anxiety. It was so horrible. It was horrific, the torment that I was going through. I finally got lunches, and I went to the Walmart and got on my knees during lunch in the bathroom and prayed and asked the Lord. I was ready to quit that day, and I said, I'm going to quit unless you show me right now that I'm supposed to stay, because I can't do this anymore. Now, they had me pick my recovery person, and we would pray before the place opened. Every morning we would pray. We were praying, and I picked her, and I started to see subtle changes and everything. But because of my devotion to the Lord, He would speak to me. I would go to my car, and He would just speak to me and tell me, these people are committing adultery. He would tell me through His word what was going on. So this day I went to the Walmart, got on my knees, I came back. And when I came back to a full house of everybody running around, it was craziness. A man walked through the door. And he walked through the door, and he reached over and he grabbed my hands, and he said, the Lord knows exactly what He's doing. He knows exactly what He's doing, and you're right where you're supposed to be. You're great. And he walked out. So I said, okay, Lord, I'll stay. The next 2 weeks were horrendous. I cried every day. I went home crying. And finally, I was like, Lord, if they fire me, I'll go back to school and be a nurse. I offered that. I'll go back to school. I'll be a nurse. I'll do whatever you want me to do. Just, Abba, help me. So 2 weeks later, we're praying, and in the midst of our prayer, I hear a voice like thunder that screams, "Enough!" And I was like, I looked, and all of a sudden, it's just this all-knowingness in my spirit. And I was like, this is my last day. This is it. I'm out. And everybody in the medical team was gone. And I told my coworker she goes, no way. And I said, when they come in with HR, they'll be bringing HR back from the meeting with them. When they come in, I'm going to run to the restroom, tell them I'll be right back. And she couldn't believe it. And it happened exactly how I stated it would happen. They came back, she said, they're asking for you. And I said, I know. They fired me. I had to fight. I got my unemployment. I had to wait. I had 67 pages of documentation against them. And they said, you're lucky she don't sue you. It's pretty bad. You better give it to her. So nonetheless, I went to nursing school, and I'm trying to speed this up so I can make a long story short. I went to nursing school. In the midst of my time at nursing school, I lost my grandma. Had to bury her. Not only that, my husband at the time decided to leave me for somebody else. And I was having issues with one of my children that ended up in a psych unit, and I had to move 2 times while working full-time 36 hours a week and going to school full-time. I did all of this. In the midst of that, God is so good. He's such a gracious God. He's so amazing. And he gets the last say. And this is when I tell you that he's in every intricate detail. In the midst of that, over 3,000 nurses were put into a pot for the governor's award for the state of that state for caring and advocacy. And the DON at the college knew me and all that I had endured and put my name in and wrote my story. And out of everybody for that state, I was selected to receive the governor's scholarship that year for caring and advocacy. I was able to obtain that. But this is where the best part gets. God has the final say and the last laugh. In the midst of that, going to the governor's mansion, the HR person, which was a high up lawyer, was messing with the person at the person that was upset with me, and their wife, who worked in the governor's office, had to give me my award. Not only did they have to give me my award, but it's like a played out drama skit. I was on the front page of the newspaper for that town. The company that fired me had to participate in that, and I made their newspaper, and they had to participate and give me a portion of the scholarship or what have you. They were all involved. So there's a picture of all these people, including my child psychologist that was there. We're all in line, and there's a big picture on the front of a magazine of everything. It came full circle. And so that day, God, he says, this is my child. And I've told this story before, and I'm leaving out details because I have limited time, but I will tell you that he sees you where you're at. He knows everything about you. And those that are devout to him, he's devout to you. And what may look like a pit that you're in, he's going to set you up on solid ground. He's going to shine his beacon of light on you in front of all your enemies. All those people were out to get me. They didn't have anything nice about me. But God said, this is my child, and I'm rewarding her. I made it through. I became an RN. And I'll tell you what, I don't know how I did it. I really don't. But God, if it wasn't for him, there's no way. And with a 3.0 grade point average, I don't even know how I did that. Because anybody that knows me, he doesn't choose what the world thinks is the greatest. He chooses what the world considers the least, and he puts them at the top. Are you being elevated today by the Lord? Is your story looking bleak? Are you in your word? Are you leaning not on your own understanding? Are you leaning into Christ? Are you leaning on his shoulders? Because he will take care of you. I promise. He did me, and he still does. And I pray this helps you today, whoever needed to hear this. And I say this in Yeshua's name. Bye-bye.